In this video, we're looking at the future of gaming. Of course, it is blockchain gaming and play to earn models. And so we're covering none other than Illuvium, the first AAA quality game coming to Ethereum via layer 2 scaling solution Immutable X. This one is going to be a massive game and it launches towards the end of this year. The token price has already ballooned astronomically, but I think there's still more in the tank for this one. So that's what we're going to be discussing today, and I'm going to show you why I've invested in this. So of course, if you enjoy the content today, make sure you slap a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and of course, turn on those post notifications. And if you want to support the channel, get my early picks before YouTube and all that good stuff, check out my Patreon linked down below. So here we have the gaming sector, led by, of course, Axie Infinity. Axie Infinity, a 2D game, play to earn, and this one's taken off primarily in developing regions like the Philippines, where people are literally downing tools and instead playing video games and earning a really healthy wage. So this change in behavior in certain regions is set to continue. Of course, everyone's got internet connection these days, and the rate of technological advancement means that people can play to earn. So this new economy is going to be revolutionary. Now, Axie Infinity, with a market cap of around $4 billion, is the leader of this market sector. But the number two and the one coming for its crown is, of course, Illuvium down here. Current market cap less than 10% at $326 million. But when we look at this landscape overall, and you realize the market cap of all of these top gaming coins is just 8.4 billion combined, you realize how early we are. This industry is set to be $250 billion by the year 2025, according to Statista Online. But I think they actually underestimate how quickly this industry is growing and the blockchain revolution that's happening. Of course, the gaming industry is already massive, but when you give people the option to just sit at home and play games instead and earn a wage, most people probably aren't going to be interested in going to call center jobs anymore when they can play games they love and earn a living. So when we look back in a few years, I'm sure all of these prices and these market caps are going to be blown totally out of the water. But Illuvium is the project that is claiming AAA game quality. This means they have a large studio behind them, a big team, big budget, and big promises. So the animation behind this is going to be the highest quality, like 4K 3D imagery, and just an insane gaming experience. Imagine when you were playing whatever game it was when you were a kid. For me, it was like a 2D version of Grand Theft Auto, the original, and I was glued to that back then. So imagine getting a game of this quality now in 2021. You literally are going to struggle to get your kids away from the screen. But this is the way the world's going, and this game could potentially be a 10, 100, who knows, even $1 trillion market cap at some point in the future. Now, if we look at the price chart, you can see this has been going off like a rocket. I first got onto this one at around 120 bucks. I didn't initially buy, which was rather annoying. I kicked myself. It went up to around 150 and then $250, and then it pulled back a little bit and I made my first purchase. I was obviously regretting the fact I didn't buy it earlier, but then it went up again, leveled off a little bit around 350, and now it's gone up to around 500, where it's forming a bit of a base here once more. But I just can't see many people selling this token right now when the game is not even live yet. The potential for earning revenue from this is just astronomical, and so I do think that this will go a lot higher. And in terms of being early, let's just pull up the markets here. How many people can actually navigate an Ethereum wallet and use a DEX at this point? The number is rather limited, and most of the wider gaming audience don't even know about Illuvium yet. So if this can get mass adoption, mass appeal, and gets on some big exchanges, well, we're able to front run a lot of people. So here's the website, illuvium.io, and it says fight for ETH. Now this game is like a mashup of two previous games. So Team Fight Tactics, or maybe you know League of Legends from that kind of gameplay. It's a strategy-based game. You're auto-battling, putting your team up against others, winner takes all kind of thing. And then 50% a collectible game where you're exploring, checking out the landscape, and coming across these different characters. But instead of Pokemon, they're called Illuvials, mythical creatures, and of course they are NFTs. This means if you catch them, you own them. And so two very addictive games that took the world by storm are both being mashed together to create Illuvium. So I think it's got a very good recipe for this. And of course, if you look at the animation behind it and you watch the trailer, you will realize that this is going to be shit hot. So that's enough of a bit of an insight into that. But go and watch that trailer for Illuvium, and then go and watch gameplay from Axie Infinity. Chalk and cheese, hamburgers versus steak. There really is not much of a comparison there. So this is going to be the first AAA quality game on the blockchain where you can play to earn. So I think this is going to be absolutely huge, and you're going to get a lot of people highly addicted to playing this. But of course, that's not a bad thing when you can go ahead, catch these Illuviums, own these NFTs, and then sell them on a marketplace and cash in nice profits. So it's an open world role-playing game built on ETH. You journey across a vast, varied landscape on your quest to hunt and capture deity-like creatures called Illuvials. Discover the cause of the cataclysm that shattered this land. You can see some of the imagery here. The landscapes look ridiculously good, and obviously the animation team behind this has some awesome credentials. And then you go into the auto Battler, where you can play for money. It says earn Illuvium through play and become part of the community-based governance. So a lot to discover, a lot to collect within this world, and they're putting together a huge array of different characters and Illuvials that all look awesome. And of course, you will see these traded on like secondary markets and stuff, as these are all NFTs. That is the killer use case behind this. When you play a typical game, say Fortnite, you don't really own the skins that you buy because you can't get them to leave the game. Whereas here, you own the NFT. You have physical ownership of the Illuvials. You can trade them freely. And I'm sure there will be a possibility to merge these into other games as they team up with different gaming studios and blockchain games. So who's behind this game then? Well, it's Kieran and Aaron Warwick. These guys are the brothers of Kane Warwick from Synthetics. Kieran seems to be a very much entrepreneurial character here, had a few startups under his belt, but has seen that there's a massive opportunity here for blockchain gaming. He's also been previously deep into crypto in the past, and he's a self-admitted degen at heart. So he's really into DeFi, and he sees the opportunity here to merge DeFi with gaming to make a supercharged Illuvium game that is going to just merge together both of these worlds. Because when you create these big in-game economies, you can do things like borrow, lend, trade, generate yield with assets. And with having a brother like Kane from Synthetics, you know they've got a resource there that they can tap into and get the best DeFi protocols baked into whatever they're doing. So a real killer team here. And then Aaron, of course, the other co-founder and brother, chief game designer and story supervisor. So this is his first big game, and apparently everything is looking pretty awesome. I do dive into the Discord and check out, for example, the character leaks and stuff in here, where you can see behind the scenes footage and how the stories and narratives are coming together, and everything looks super, super good. And then behind them, they have a team of like 100 at this point, with game producers who've worked on the likes of BioShock, Tomb Raider, a very experienced CTO, and other engineers within this. Roger down here has a depth of experience and is the lead concept artist, and he's been putting in some of these images here. And these guys have been churning out Illuvials like there's no tomorrow. We've also got Alexander here, previously worked for Pepsi, Sony, Toyota, and Alexandra, the lead animator who's worked on Marvel projects, Transformers, Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, and more. So a rather insane team here. And just to mention, Mr. Kane Warwick as well, he put together a really cool thread the other day all about the merging of NFTs and DeFi into games. So he says that as NFTs and crypto gaming dwarf DeFi in terms of attention, they both utilize the same underlying tech. So the massive attention that accrues will act as a protective layer to both DeFi and NFTs, as tens of millions of consumers demand access to Ethereum. The intersection of gaming and NFTs will be mind-blowing. That, combined with a Cambrian explosion of art in the form of NFTs, will provide cover fire for the critical work of reinventing finance that DeFi has undertaken in order to deliver more fair and open global markets. So this is ultimately why Illuvium scares me. I don't like to lose, but it's hard to see how it doesn't dwarf Synthetics in attention, which is super annoying because he's extremely competitive. But that attention will drive demand for the underlying technologies like ETH and ETH-based scaling solutions, which ultimately is a good thing for the entire industry. So clearly a bit of a sore loser here, because he can see that Illuvium is going to be absolutely massive and have a bigger market cap than his project Synthetics. But he does highlight the importance of scaling solutions for ETH Layer 2 And that is exactly where Illuvium is built, using Immutable X. So why did they go about using Immutable X? Well, it's pretty simple, to be honest with you. The fact that if you did it on a layer 1 like ETH, it would be too expensive to actually operate the game. You would really hamper the number of users that could potentially even use it, and it would just become a whale game. So one of the primary issues faced by people now is the cost of transactions on ETH, but Immutable X leverages ZK rollups. So this means you can actually trade your NFTs without paying any gas fees. So this will be free to trade, mint, catch your NFTs all within the game, making it more accessible and fairer to the wider audience. Within the game, they have these functions of minting, burning, and of course, exchanging. They have their own exchange coming out. This is coming soon, called the Illuvidex. But just some more info on the game then. So inside Illuvium, you encounter wild, mysterious creatures called the Illuvials. On your journey through this, many regions of this broken planet, you will have to try and capture them. To do this, you need a shard. So a shard would be kind of like a Pokeball in Pokemon. The shard is a specially constructed silver of crystals that helps trap the quantum signature of the beast inside. The quality of your shard determines the chance of capture. A successful capture results in a new NFT token representing the Illuvial being minted and stored in your wallet. So when you manage to capture a few of the same type, you can then fuse them together. So essentially burning the one and minting a more powerful creature, or burning two and minting one powerful creature. There is also scarcity to these Illuvials as well. They are actually on a timed bonding curve. So as you capture one, it becomes even harder to catch the next one, and so on and so forth. So it is important, if you are going to play this, I think, to get in early. The Immutable X Layer 2 solution is vital for this process, making it easy to just let players crack on and play the game without worrying about gas fees, pop-ups all the time. And this also means you have faster transactions as well, so you can just stay focused, explore, collect, play, and earn. This game will expand because, of course, it is on the blockchain using NFTs. There's going to be an evolution to this game, which is just super exciting. This can just grow and grow and grow. More worlds can be created, more alluvial sets over time. So there will be additional sets of characters. So there'll be like a set 1 on its own bonding curve. And as that is like petered out and you've caught the majority of them, set 2 is then introduced. And you can imagine on markets, these set 1 alluvials will become very expensive over time. And I'm sure a lot of people will try and capture these for the long hodl. Additional regions will be spun up and additional games as well. One thing that really caught my attention with this is the fact they're going to have some kind of mining experience where you've got land on an external game that helps like feed the resources and the shards of the main game. And this, the ownership of digital land, is something I would definitely want to get involved with. I will try and keep you up to date on that when it comes out. And then also additional mini games and collaborations. I know for a fact they've been speaking with Elio Trades over at Superfarm, so maybe you will have that kind of crossover of these two metaverses, the Superverse and Illuvium coming together, and you can use your characters across both. Again, that's just speculation, but collaboration will be key to success. Within this white paper documentation, you can go and check it out for yourself, but it covers everything from what are the actual Illuvials, how do you actually go about playing, how do you purchase stuff, what are the battle arenas? What is the DEX? Because there's going to be their own DEX here where you can exchange in this marketplace different tools, weapons, armors, jetpacks, all those kind of things. And of course, Illuvials with other players. You then have the shards, pieces of armor, and more. So go and check that out to understand exactly all the mechanics behind this game. But it sounds really exciting, and one that's going to be highly addictive, I'm sure. Now, they also run this as a DAO. So this is going to be the first fully decentralized game as well. The DAO is run by the Illuminati Council. So there is an election process where you nominate people to be voted in. Voting takes place by ILV holders, and then there should be 5 individuals running the overall council. So even if the co-founders want to change something in the game, it's going to have to go through this democratic process. And on top of this, as an ILV token holder, you can actually make your own proposals. So you have the ability to change in-game assets, the way that things are run, the marketplace fees, capture mechanics, balance changes, all those different things can be amended by simply holding the ILV token and putting forward your own proposals. So this really is revolutionary within the gaming space, but this is the power of blockchain. In terms of the token economics, the overall max supply of Illuvium is just 10 million tokens. and these were distributed as follows. So there was a pre-seed round for that initial funding, and that was headed up by the likes of Kane Warwick from Synthetics and others. They bought their tokens at just $1 each. Then there was a seed round in January and a team distribution as well in February. So that makes up 3.5 million tokens. 1.5 million tokens are in a treasury fund. That pot will oversee the future development of the games. They've got plenty of runway already, apparently about 4 years worth. They also had a launch pad here, which I believe was this Balancer Smart Pool distribution, where tokens started at a price of $50 each. And then there is 4 million of these tokens. So out of 10 million, only 6 will be in circulation. And these 4 are split out as follows. You have 3 million for staking rewards, which I'm going to show you next. And then 1 million tokens are allocated to in-game tournaments. So this is going to really rival the likes of major esports tournaments that are out there where there's millions of dollars up for grabs. Because if you've got 1 million tokens, that means you've got $491 million to play with here. So the incentives for these tournaments are going to be massive, and this is what can draw in a big crowd, and we can see a huge onboarding of normal gamers into the blockchain gaming industry, and this could get the ball rolling into the future where it is just blockchain gaming. Normal gaming will cease to exist at some point because blockchain is the answer. Further to those tokenomics, once the game is alive, players will be spending their ETH in the game on things like buying booster packs, armor, swords, in-game items, swapping on the marketplace, of which there will be a 5% fee. So 5% of the value goes to a vault. So in-game purchases made in ETH, that ETH will then be used to buy back on the open market ILV tokens and then distribute those to stakers. So the staking dashboard is found via the website. I will show you how to stake these in an additional video I'll put together when the gas price is a little bit lower. But just for now, you stake your tokens in the core pool if you want to add either the ILV token on its own, 87% APY, or if you don't mind a bit of impermanent loss here, you can add the ETH ILV LP token from Sushi and gain a huge 700% APY. They've also got these cool flash pools that have been used for like cross marketing and promotion. So you could deposit Synthetics, XYZ coin, or even Axie Infinity's AXS. I think these run a few weeks back or even a month back. But you can see that this kind of cross promotion where you get people to put their Axies in to earn the Illuvium token means you're getting people who are already indoctrinated in the blockchain gaming space and they're coming to check out Illuvium. So this will help with growth down the line. So if you stake your tokens, you get ILV rewards, but they are subject to a 12-month vesting period, or you can get SILV rewards, which can be unlocked straight away and used in-game once it's live. So you can either go with locking your tokens and you get ILV back, or you take your rewards and play with them in-game. And if people do this, it means less circulating tokens on the open market, less supply, more demand equals number go up. So there's a huge opportunity here to stake the Illuvium token for future revenue shares from the game itself. So if this grows to like millions upon millions of users, the exchange fees generated could be enormous. So I think staking this token is the wise thing to do for long-term passive income with huge upside potential. So a staking video to come on this. It'll just be a quick tutorial, so make sure you subscribe for that. So Illuvium looks to have first mover advantage in terms of AAA quality blockchain gaming. And I'm sure there's going to be a shortage of talented game developers out there. And if these guys are hiring like mad now, which it sounds like they are, they could have the talent pool cornered and make it difficult for more competition in this sector. So we've been waiting for the first killer game to come on the blockchain, and maybe this will be it. Its launch date slated for December of 2021. I'm personally really looking forward to the land sale that is coming up. Again, yield bearing opportunities from that. And also the fact that this could be bear market resistant due to the fact gamers will game no matter if Bitcoin is going up, down, or sideways. So NFT gaming projects could be a good hedge against the wider downturn in the market when it comes. If you enjoyed the content in today's video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.